Hi. I'm SK. Ooh, hi. I'm SK. I'm from Hendersonville, Tennessee, and I'm a junior studying sculpture. And lately, I have been very interested in how daydreaming and world building can be used as avoidance mechanisms. And so, with my first work, this is a piece where I was exploring headspace through tactility of material. So, this is steel rods welded together, and then I crocheted yarn over the surface. And I found that while making this piece, when it was still bare, when it was still just plain steel, I was hesitant to touch the work. I was but then when I finally did start crocheting over it, I engaged with the work almost immediately. I was like caressing and like poking my fingers through all of the holes of my stitches, and this is where I kind of started to think about like layers. And there's like this layer of comfort, which is the yarn, but then underneath it there's the steel, the cold steel, the hard cold steel. And I'm kind of thinking about that duality and how it can be a topic of conversation concerning the unappealing versus more pleasant um, feelings. And so this next one is Straw Bunny. it's I'm kind of thinking about creating fictional like brands and mascots, and sort of like the commercialization of products and how companies make a product seem appealing. And so I was kind of thinking of like creating this really cute bunny character, and then like colors that sort of pop out at you. And then my next piece is on a similar note. It's Dog's Pizza. I was also thinking about creating like a fictional sort of company with the Dog's Pizza, but I was also thinking more materially. I was thinking about like toys, like wooden fake foods, and also like crocheted yarn, and then Play-Doh, which is the the pepperonis, and then just like this really playful aesthetic. And I think together there's this similar idea of like creating an appealing product through vibrant colors and material choice. And through that, I'm sort of fabricating this palatable reality. And so I wanted to like take it to the next step. So I made a franchise out of the dog's pizza. So this is a cardboard stand, and I painted over it with acrylic, and then I also used Play-Doh as the pizza I sold. and and I encourage myself, but also others, to act as like employees and patrons to Dog's Pizza. It's when I presented this, I was the employee, and I was sort of like interviewing my classmates and then rejecting all of them, and it was kind of fun. It's like just getting into that playful headspace is something I'm very interested in, and I'd like to explore further through performative sculpture. But my last piece, it hit home. It is like a multitude of miniature cakes, and they're frosted over, and I sculpted them to be in the shape of my childhood home. And with this piece, it's not so much the product, the final product, which is the cake, isn't as important to me as the process, because I feel like the process has a lot of meaning to me. But um, I was kind of thinking about how repetitive it got, and how also like similar it was every time I would go through this cycle of baking a cake and then freezing it and then frosting it. It's like over and over and over again. And I eventually just had like a whole little multitude of cakes. And I found that it kind of paralleled um, rumination to me. It's similar in that, like when ruminating, it's like you're milling over this topic over and over, and it's almost obsessive. And I found that it's a very interesting dynamic, and like parallel to this cake piece that I had created. But Um, I when I chose this shape because often when I do ruminate, um, I think about like complicated and difficult emotions that I had in relation to family and just like growing up in general. but it's something that I was interested in exploring through process, but as well as materiality, because I was thinking about the ephemeral quality of food, and food, it it doesn't last forever. And I was speaking specifically about cake because cake is something that's very sweet and appealing, but it eventually rots and degrades and molds and it becomes unappealing. And so I was kind of thinking about how that is similar to my ideas of memory and how that cycle repeats over and over. But I'm also thinking about my previous pieces with the pizza and straw bunnies and how those are almost immune to being ephemeral, and this is meant to degrade over time. But yes, thank you so much for listening to me. I also want to thank my professors, Jason Brown and John Powers, because they nominated me, and they're really nice professors. And then I also want to thank the IELTS family for providing the IELTS scholarship. And it really means a lot to have financial support, but I also feel so motivated to continue creating. Thank you so much.
That's good.